Hello! Today we're gonna be painting this little fun piece that I've called Art Therapy. And like with the last video, we'll start with a sketch and use Stable Diffusion with Control Net later on. This piece is somewhat inspired by a few interesting experiences I had in Thailand recently. We're not going to dig deeper into this topic. And I'll shut up now and let you watch the struggle. So, Stable Diffusion. The prompt, I tried different approaches. The first one I tried composing the prompt myself. It worked probably kind of the same as this one, and this one was generated by GPT. I actually feed in my sketch to the GPT, it described it, I asked for it to generate the prompt, I tried to compose a shorter prompt, I tried to clean it up from like extra words, something that can be misinterpreted by the engine. Like I tried all those things, like many attempts of how the prompt would end up being, but still probably kind of same-ish result. I wouldn't say that one particular approach to prompting would give like significantly better result than other. At least like using those. The negative prompt here is a template that I use. I sometimes like throw away particular parts of it and throw them back in, but nothing special. So the settings, these are the standard settings that I use. For the most part, I would play with CFG scale, like going a little bit over 7, a little bit lower than 7. Also playing with sampling steps, like going a little bit lower than 20 sometimes, usually not, doesn't make much, and increasing it to 30, especially with the models that ask for it. Then in control net side, we use the line art, currently line art realistic, or maybe I even use this one, line art anime, because it kinda gives, you can see, cleaner lines. I mean, they're not too thick, and I noticed that probably sometimes it feels like with a more thin and detailed line art, like there are more things that get correctly interpreted by ControlNet, which is good. Sometimes when the lines are too thick, like for example, like I don't know, let's try this one. You can see they're significantly thicker, and because of that, sometimes in these areas it looks like Stable Diffusion tried to generate something inside the line art. Like, it's very weird result, but like general rule of thumb to me, I try to get as clean of a picture here as I can get. Try to avoid the gaps in line art, because if these lines get eaten up by ControlNet, by particular model, in these areas, Stable Diffusion will go like crazy. It will come up with some weird stuff and even put some objects or change the results drastically and out of context, which is not very helpful in most cases. What I also would do sometime is actually, once I have one of the generations that kind of work okay-ish, I would use the generation itself in ControlNet to produce line art and to guide another generations. Sometimes it just provides cleaner results. Another interesting setting to be aware of is control mode. I usually use it on balanced with line art, because the funny thing, the other two, they actually useless, at least from my experience so far, because Stable Diffusion goes crazy with them. And I will show you how exactly in a second. Oh, and here is the list of models that I used recently. I think like a couple of them just don't work with ControlNet. This is the site that I use to download my models, and if any of you know how to know beforehand, before you download the model, if it works with ControlNet or not, please let me know in the comments, because that would be very helpful and save me a bunch of time. And as for the generations, they are really nothing special. So, and let me just tell you a few things about what I'm actually looking for in generation, and when would it be helpful. Like, for me, it would be helpful if it would contain some, visual punch. And what I mean by visual punch is very deliberate art direction choices. And this is obviously not what a current AI generative tool can provide you with, actually. And arguably this is why current AI tools, they clearly can be a substitute for human input. And using a generation as a base to kickstart your illustration is actually, in my opinion, not a very good idea, just because in most cases you have a streamlined process of how you build the shapes, how you build the shadows, how you build the image in general. And here, to be able to use this picture efficiently and be agile with it, change something with it, actually it would provide much more noise than you would need to make clean, simple, deliberate decisions and make particular streamlined actions to achieve this particular result that you want and that you imagined, like pre-visualized in your head. Actually, you will just end up following the lighting scheme, the arrangement of elements, and probably end up with somewhat boring result. And at least for me, I think I would spend much more energy trying to drift away from this particular image and trying to find something new rather than starting from scratch. And here's also the kind of result that you get when the line art in ControlNet is too thick, as I mentioned previously. You can see this weird artifacts going on, and it feels like all the visual richness of the other options is drained away from this one. And this is the fabulous result that you get from changing the balance options. Like, I swear, there is nothing in the prompt that would suggest a second character being female. Oh, wait, how about that? Jesus fucking Christ, that's spicy as hell. So as you can see, none of the solutions is perfect, so we keep on digging the old school way. So let's get back to painting. And here you can see a usual struggle of being an indecisive dumbass. Now you will see me making one of the most common and amateurish mistakes to make when starting an illustration. And that is not pre-visualizing in your head beforehand what is the major artistic and visual statement of the upcoming image. So one of the directions that I wanted to pursue was something like that, like grunge photography with bright photo flash straight up, producing this very harsh dark shadows going right from the camera basically. But of course at some point it felt like too boring, and I also wanted to introduce like more neon colors, you know, all this nightclub vibe to it, and basically I choose neither, because those two approaches are in some way actually contradict one another. And they are contradicting because to achieve this authentic lighting effect from the camera flash, the lighting from camera should be so bright that it dims out every light source in the scene. Every light source, as you can see in this picture in the scene, like here we have a huge LED screen besides the girls, behind the girls, and probably some kind of light source here which produces some rim light here and there, but it's all very dimmed, and it's very difficult to play around with all these nuanced lights just from your head when you actually haven't decided which particular direction you want the illustration to take eventually. So as a consequence, I ended up painting 3 pictures instead of 1 basically. Here you can actually see me trying to get rid of every light source in the scene to achieve this effect, and actually I realized that it just kills the vibe of the image. Like it should have been some kind of lighthearted, flirty, a little bit like humorous scene, and now it makes something of a horror movie. Definitely a party pooper here, so I decided to change the direction eventually and went for a more vibrant scene. So what you can see me doing here is piling up about 3 images I generated previously and just playing with blending mode settings, erasing parts of the images, finding some interesting artifacts to basically bleed them into the rest of the image. And honestly speaking, this is kind of a fun little use case, I think, because you have the same very placement of all the shapes in all their different variants each generation, and it's limited by the line art. So basically you always get the perfect match, and this is a great field to explore different ways and interesting effects in your image, because playing with blending modes becomes much more interesting. Once I did that, the image finally started to feel unified, and I carried on the work with detailing. By that point I decided not to go too far with polishing, because I was starting to get bored and burned out from working on this image for all the time. Yep, I guess this is it. Hope you found this video somewhat entertaining. If you have any suggestions on the topics to discuss or questions to cover, feel free to comment on that in the comment section. And meanwhile, I'll be back with some other artsy-fartsy stuff.